I stood in the third row of the vineyard, my heart pounding like a drum in a storm, watching my only son, Tobias, kiss his bride under a floral arch dripping with roses. Guests clapped, cameras flashed like lightning, but I sat still, my blue scarf tied around my bald head from chemo, hiding the scars of my fight. Nobody saw me, the frail woman in the gray suit, clutching a small wooden box like it held my soul. Tobias laughed, pulling Kendra close, her diamond ring catching the sun. They thought this was their perfect day, their curated fairy tale. Oh love, they had no clue the storm I was about to unleash. My mate Monique, sharp as a blade in her navy suit, stood and strode toward them. Congratulations, she said, voice cool as winter air. Tobias turned, his polished smile cracking. Kendra's lips twisted. Who are you? She snapped, her voice slicing through the chatter. Monique handed him the box. From your mum, she said, then turned back to me, her heels silent on the grass. Tobias's hands trembled as he opened it. Inside, one pearl earring, the one he gave me when he was 12, his little hand so proud, and a letter folded neat as a prayer. His face paled, eyes wide as he read my words. You called me too ugly for your wedding, Tobias. Too sick to be seen. So I'm giving everything I built to women who know my worth. You get nothing but this earring. Remember the boy who gave me the pear? He's gone. Kendra snatched the letter, her voice a hiss. What's this mean? She's cut you out. Guests froze, whispers spreading like wildfire. I stood slow, gripping my cane, and slipped through the vines, leaving them to unravel. The vineyard glowed golden in the dusk, but a chill hung in the air, as if the world knew a reckoning was coming. How did we get here, to this moment of sweet, sharp justice? Let me take you back, love, to the start, because every tear I shed built this triumph. But what broke my heart to get me here? I was 19 when I had Tobias, a single mom after his dad, Michael, walked out. He couldn't handle the sleepless nights, the nappy changes, the bills stacking up like unopened letters. I never spoke ill of him to Tobias, though. I wanted my boy to believe his dad was just lost, not cruel. I worked 2 jobs, scrubbing hospital floors till my hands cracked, sewing dresses for neighbors till my eyes burned, to keep us fed and warm in our little Charleston flat. Tobias was my light, with his big brown eyes and a laugh that could chase away the darkest days. Mom, you're the best, he'd say, climbing into my lap with biscuit crumbs on his cheeks. I'd kiss his forehead, whispering, You're my everything, love. We didn't have much, but we had love. When my aunt passed, she left me a small inheritance, barely enough for a car, but I saw a chance. I bought a rundown duplex across the street, fixed it up with paint cans and elbow grease, and rented it out. Suddenly there was extra money. So I bought another property, then a third, even a share in Sheila's salon when she was starting out. No fancy holidays or new dresses for me. I clipped coupons, wore the same church shoes till the soles wore thin. All for Tobias, for his future. By the time he was at uni, I'd built a quiet fortune, millions in assets, tucked away in bank statements and deeds, hidden in a folder labeled final. I never told a soul. I wanted to surprise him, leave it all in my will. Mom, why not treat yourself? He'd ask, home from uni with his new suits and big dreams. I'd smile. Got all I need with you, love. But life twists, doesn't it? When Tobias landed his fancy marketing job, he met Kendra, tall, sharp-faced, always in designer gear, looking at the world like it owed her something. I thought she'd soften him, make him kinder. Instead, she turned him cold like marble. His calls dwindled, visits rarer than rain in summer. Then came the cancer, stage 3 aggressive, a shadow in my chest. Chemo stole my hair, left me pale as a ghost, so I wrapped scarves around my head to hide the shame. I didn't tell Tobias at first, didn't want to burden him. When I finally did, over a crackling phone line, his voice was flat. That's rough, Mom. Kendra and I are swamped with wedding plans. We'll send flowers. Flowers? From my boy? It stung like a slap, but I held on, thinking the wedding would bring us close again. Oh love, I was wrong. What happened next would shatter my heart into pieces I didn't know I had. It was a bright afternoon, the kind that tricks you into thinking all's well, when Tobias showed up at my door. His cologne hit me before he did. His flash car parked out front like a boast. I wore my lavender blouse, the one with pearl buttons he'd tug at as a baby, and pinned on the pearl earrings he gave me for Mother's Day when he was 12. Mom made these special, he'd said, his little face glowing. I looked in the mirror before he arrived, hoping he'd see the love in my eyes, not the tiredness chemo carved into my skin. I brewed tea, set out biscuits. His favorite, the ones I'd bake when he came home from school. I thought we'd laugh, maybe plan how I'd help with the wedding. But he walked in without knocking, sat on my sofa like he was doing me a favor. "Mom, we need to talk about the wedding," he said, not even glancing at the biscuits. My heart skipped. "Can't wait, love," I said, smiling. "Can I help? Fold napkins? Taste the cake?" He shifted, eyes on his shoes. "Actually, it's better if you don't come." The words hit like a brick. I gripped my teacup, the warmth burning my fingers. "What do you mean?" "It's a curated event, modern minimalist. Kendra and I want the guest list to match. You've been sick, the scarf, the coughing. Might make folks uncomfortable." "Uncomfortable? Me, his mom?" I laughed, confused, my voice shaky. "You don't want me in the photos?" "It's about presentation, Mom. We love you, but Kendra wants a certain vibe." Before I could answer, the door swung open. Kendra, tall as a model, heels clicking like accusations, strode in without knocking. She eyed my cozy living room, vintage she called it, with a wrinkled nose. "So this is the place," she said, no hello, no warmth. Tobias mumbled. "Kendra, this is my mom." She barely nodded. "Nice to meet you." I felt like a guest in my own home. "I'd like to be there," I said soft, my voice trembling. "I'll sit in the back, stay quiet. Just want to see my son marry." Kendra turned, her eyes cold as a winter sea. "Seating set, dress code too. It's about the vibe. And you're sick. The pale skin, the scarf, it's admirable, but it'll distract." Tobias piped up. "We'll FaceTime you, send photos. Like you're there." "I want to be in the room," I whispered, my throat tight. Kendra's smile was fake as plastic. "After the honeymoon, we can talk long-term care. A nice, clean nursing home for recovery." "Nursing home?" I looked at Tobias, pleading with my eyes. "She means lock me away." "Don't make this harder, Mom," he said, voice hard. "I'm being respectful." Then the knife, sharp and deep. "This is why Dad left you." Oh, love that cut to my bones. Michael left because he was weak, a coward who couldn't handle fatherhood. I'd shielded Tobias, painted his dad as lost, not cruel. Now my boy used it as a weapon. "I gave you everything," I murmured, hands shaking. He stood, sighing like I was the burden. "I appreciate it, but no guilt trips." Kendra headed for the door. "We'll be in touch. Good luck with treatments." Tobias leaned down, kissed my scarf like patting a tombstone. "Love you, Mom." They left, their car peeling away. I stood at the window watching the dust settle and whispered, "Thank you for showing me." A fire sparked in my chest, not anger but clarity. What would I do with this flame? Would it burn their world down? That night I didn't cry. I sat in my old flannel robe, the one from Tobias's school days when he'd beg for bedtime stories, staring at the streetlight flickering outside. My breaths were shallow, body aching from chemo, but my mind raced like a train. I saw little Tobias under that light, backpack swinging, bursting with stories from school. Where was that boy? I shuffled to my bedroom, joints creaking, and knelt by the closet. My hands, thin as paper, pulled out the folder labeled Final. Inside, my will, deeds to 3 rental properties, bank statements showing millions, life insurance, all for Tobias, my only heir. I stared at his name, my signature below it, Lorraine Elizabeth Massey. Then I grabbed my gold letter opener, the one he gave me at uni, engraved with my initials. I tore the will to bits, quarters then eighths, each rip lightening my heart. The next morning I called Monique, my mate and lawyer since we were 19, giggling in church choir over shared secrets. "Lorraine, you all right?" she asked, voice thick with sleep. "Not yet, but I will be. Come over, need a new will." A pause. "Tobias said I'd ruin the aesthetic." Kendra threatened a nursing home. He just stood there. Silence, heavy as a stone. "Bring the papers. I know who gets it." "You sure?" "I'm dying, love, but not broken." She arrived that afternoon, briefcase in hand, her eyes soft but steady. We sat at the kitchen table, tea gone cold between us. "Why do you save all this?" she asked, scribbling. "For him at first, but also for me. I saw too many women die skint, tossed aside by families who forgot them. You won't, she said, her pen moving fast. We listed it all. 3 houses, my share in Sheila's salon, bank accounts fat with years of quiet work. Beneficiary: Rose House Foundation, the shelter for abandoned elderly women where I'd volunteered, painting walls, reading scriptures to ladies with no one else. Everything. Monique asked, eyebrow raised. They don't judge scarves or sickness. They see worth. Nothing for Tobias? I stared out the window, the streetlight off in the daylight. Gave him my life. That's enough. We finished, my signature shaky but sure on the new will. Wrote him a letter, I said, sealing an envelope with his name. Give it at the wedding with this. I handed her a small wooden box. Inside the single pearl earring and another letter. And one for Kendra, I added, sliding her a note. Make a scene? Monique asked, a grin tugging her lips. No, love. End one. We laughed, old mates, but there was steel in it. As she left, I gave her the envelopes. Promise. No changing your mind if he cries. Promise. Alone, I pulled out the shoebox under my bed, filled with birthday letters I'd written for Tobias. Up to age 50, each one a piece of my heart. If you're ever lost, you're my son first, one began. I tore them all, feeding them to the bin, my hands smelling of ink and ash. My heart felt clean. But then came the invitation, not from Tobias but cousin Renee, nosy sweet Renee who never missed a family do. Cream envelope, gold trim, a photo of Tobias and Kendra smiling perfect. Note: join quietly, sit in family section, respect wishes. A crumb tossed to ease their guilt. I chuckled, my fingers tracing the paper. I go, but on my terms. What would I leave behind to break their perfect day? The wedding morning, I woke before dawn, the house quiet as a grave. I bathed slow, my hands lingering on my skin, memorizing what strength I had left. I dressed in my gray Easter suit, the one I wore to church when Tobias still held my hand. I pinned on Mama's silver dove brooch, its edges worn but shining. My scarf, blue with silver thread, wrapped tight around my head. The mirror showed a frail woman, bones sharp under thin skin, but my eyes burned fierce. I was still me. Monique picked me up, her car humming soft. She held the envelope and box, plus Kendra's note, in her briefcase. You up for this, Lorraine? She asked, glancing at me. Need to see how far he thinks he's come. The vineyard was a dream. Vines rolling into the hills, white tents glowing under string lights. A quartet playing jazz that floated like a breeze. Guests in pastels sipped bubbly, their laughter bright and careless. We slipped to the third row unnoticed, my cane tucked beside me. The ceremony began. Tobias strode down the aisle, tall and proud, his tux crisp. Kendra glided after, her gown sparkling like a chandelier. The officiant spoke of unity, of honoring parents who paved the way. Tobias shifted at that, his shoulders stiff, but he didn't look back. My heart ached, but I stayed still, sipping water from a bottle in my bag. Kendra's vows were tearful. I'll love you forever, Tobias. His were charming. You're my everything. Rings slid on, they kissed, and the crowd erupted in applause. I sat, unmoving, my hands folded in my lap. The reception tent opened, guests drifting toward it, the couple posing under the floral arch for photos. I met Monique's eyes and nodded. She stood, briefcase in hand, and walked over. Congratulations, she said, voice steady. From your mom. She handed Tobias the box, Kendra the note. If you're marrying for money, find a new life. He has nothing now. Monique returned, whispering, done. I stood, cane firm in my grip. Across the field, Tobias opened the box. His face twisted, confusion, then horror. She left me nothing, he gasped, flipping through the letter. Kendra read her note, her jaw dropping. What? You said she was dying. She is, he snapped. Then why didn't you play nice? We're skint. Guests turned, phones out, whispers growing. Kendra yanked her hand from his. I'm not marrying a pauper who can't control his own mom. Tobias grabbed for her. Kendra, this doesn't change us. You humiliated me. Letting her sit there. Silence fell, heavy as fog. A cousin, old Mr. James, who'd known me since I was a girl, patted Tobias's shoulder. That woman raised you through hell, son. Should have put her front row. Tobias stared at my empty seat, where I'd left my scarf, blue with silver thread, folded neat. His knees buckled, the earring glinting in his hand like a tear he couldn't shed. I was already gone, slipping through the vines to Monique's car. Peace washed over me, warm as sunlight. But the real twist was coming: love. What happened next would seal his lesson forever. I drove home with Monique, the vineyard fading in the rearview. My chest felt light, like I'd shed a weight I'd carried too long. Back in my kitchen I made tea, the same loose leaves Tobias used to beg for as a boy. I sat by the window watching the streetlight flicker on, and thought of the scarf I'd left behind. I hoped someone picked it up, wondered about the woman who placed it so gently. Days passed and then the call came. My oncologist, voice bright as morning. "Lorraine, your scans are clear. Remission." I folded the news inside me like a secret letter, said, "Good," and hung up. I didn't cry, didn't smile. I'd made peace with dying, but now I had something better: peace in living. I didn't tell Tobias. He didn't deserve to know. I let him believe I was gone, let Monique follow my plan. The obituary ran quiet, no photo, just a line about a woman who loved fiercely and left quietly. Donations poured into Rose House Foundation, enough to rename their main building Massey Hall. Women I'd never met sent letters, sharing stories of their own betrayals, their voices echoing mine across Charleston. I heard whispers of Tobias, how he tried to sue, claiming the will wasn't valid, but Monique had made it airtight, not a crack for him to slip through. She gave him my final letter, the one I wrote with a steady hand and a clean heart. "I loved you, Tobias, and you spat on it. I gave you everything and you wanted more. I would have given you the world, but you said I was too ugly to be in it. So now I live in one where you don't exist. Goodbye, Mum." He didn't get to say sorry, didn't get closure. I wasn't sorry for that. 2 days after the wedding, I left Charleston with a leather handbag, my passport, and a one-way ticket to a coastal village in southern Spain. I call myself Ellie now, a name soft as the sea breeze. My home has blue shutters, a courtyard where I grow mint and basil. The air smells of oranges and salt. I've got enough money left. Not a fortune, but enough for bread, for lilies on Tuesdays, for tea in the afternoons under a wool blanket. The market lady knows my name, smiles when I pick out white lilies. I tell folks I had a husband once long ago, but no more. I don't speak of the son who broke my heart. Sometimes I think of that scarf, blue with silver, left on the vineyard chair. I hope someone kept it, wondered about the woman who vanished. Back home they tell stories about me, Lorraine, who gave everything to women forgotten by their families. Tobias, I hear, lives in a small flat now. His fancy job not enough to keep Kendra. She left him weeks after the wedding, her ring pawned, her dreams of wealth gone. He walks alone, they say, carrying a silence heavier than any inheritance. I didn't die angry, love. I lived with purpose. I sip tea now, the sun painting the stones gold, and I know I won. But what does winning mean when your heart still aches for the boy you lost? Hello friends, that's my truth. A mum gives her all, but when tossed aside like stale bread, she rises stronger. Blood don't make family, love does. They spit on yours, walk away head high. You're worth more than they'll ever know. Hit subscribe for more of Grandma's Truths, loves.